Hey there guys, it is Rachel Feldman. I wanted to shoot this video and show you how you can use the Mindset Makeover and how I used a program just like this in my business when I built Rachel's Wellness back in 2010. So when you buy a program from us, you're gonna see that you actually get a lot of different folders. Sometimes it can feel overwhelming, but the great thing is that it allows you to have the content so that you don't have to create it. Or even if you are in a course that is asking you to create your signature program, or you're working with a business coach, or you're working with a virtual assistant, they're asking for content, and you're like, I don't have it. No, now you do. And I want to just show you how you can position this. So you can look at this as, of course, a 3-month program. There are 6 session guides, which means that you're meeting with your potential client every 2 weeks. So what you can do is right when they sign up for your 3-month package, whether it's a 1K package or a $19.97 package, guys, 1K 3-month is only $333 a month. So either way, if you want to take it out, wait, let me get my calculator. Hold on. If you don't know, guys, I call my calculator Susie, named after a good friend of mine. 497 times 3, that's $14.91. 597 times 3, that's $1,791. Stay in that money mindset. Stay in, tell the negative Nellies to go to bed. So you can have that person sign up. Then, of course, what you can do is you can deliver to them even session 1, or you could deliver some of the handouts even before you meet. What's nice about this is your sessions is really when you're going over that transformation, meaning you're actually talking about the obstacles of what somebody, the obstacles of why we don't change despite all our knowledge, the condition, the human design. You have this as homework. That's how I always looked at it, or I gave it before our session. So you could actually have your client reading this even before you meet. So that during your meeting, you're talking about let's get clear on what you want to change, why you want to change this. Let's also get clear on what's stopping you from making this change. You could, of course, also have your client read this, and then you can go over the bullet points. If you wanted to, of course, you can go into the handout folder, which this gives you so much amazing content. You could have your client the entire time using the intuitive eating journal. You could use this, of course, as just a tool. It doesn't mean that your client has to use this as the PDF and the material. You could have your client journal and take pictures or create a vision board. But you see, you have all these great mindful focus guide. I remember writing this. Getting your client to take those mini action steps, those affirmations. I am the planner of my life. I construct it and I pick it with substance. Today I'm overflowing with vitality and flooded with euphoria. I mean, how often, I know even for myself in this past year of just extra stress already, in addition to my kind of personality, which is already a stressed and anxiety kind of person. It's one of the biggest things I overcome is fear and anxiety. Those kind of daily practices are really the lifeline. So you can use the handouts by, of course, delivering them to your clients each week. So right here, you have this amazing vision board and having somebody having your client go through making a vision board with you or doing it on their own. So all of those handouts can be used independently. They can also be used throughout you seeing your client. And we'll talk about that, of course. Right now, we're just going to talk first about seeing them one-on-one, whether it's face-to-face or whether it's via Zoom or Practice Better or another platform that many people use for, HIPAA-regulated sessions via conference, Doxy or anything. You can actually go through these different guides, and each session, this can be session 1, which is weeks 1 and 2. Session 2 is weeks 3 and 4. So on this first month, you have your sessions already mapped out. Now you're getting into like getting gluten out of the body, you're getting into that sugar addiction, learning how to make healthy easy, all that nitty gritty. Doesn't mean that you still aren't gonna, of course, add in if you do EFT tapping, or maybe you do macros, or maybe you do CBD oil, or maybe you do intermittent fasting. It doesn't mean that you can't bring in your additional supports that make each one of you different. But this allows you to then stay structured in delivering your program, and also in the focus that you're helping your client to go through their transformational journey, which really is what this is about. Creating a signature program, we all have the information, but making it so that it cohesively lays out for session by session or over that 3 months as a hero journey is really the beauty of, I would say, buying from us, where we do this all day and all night. And so creating signature programs is what we do in our sleep. It's not that it doesn't take a lot of work, but I would say that over the years, since we've been doing this since 2003, we're pretty good at it. So then you have session 3. A lot of people always say, well, what do you go over in a session? Everyone structures their sessions differently. I, of course, used to do even tapping, or we used to do shadow work, or I would, do a number of different strategies, of course, with my clients. But it all depends on your style of coaching. So just remember, don't feel massively overwhelmed. Don't think that you're failing or not doing it right. Everyone's going to do it different. But you'll see right here, this is what I did when I was working with a client. If, of course, we were, working on gut and autoimmune, parasitic infections, pathogens, candida, and yeast, food allergies, those are some of the main heavy hitters that I worked with. Or if it was, unexplained weight gain or unexplained weight loss, I still came in and talked about this self-limiting beliefs, perfection. I worked with a lot of people that had like A-type personalities and were perfectionists, and often got themselves, feeling uncomfortable and sick in life because they couldn't get out of their own way. So you can really look at these as the breakdown for what your focus is. When you're also delivering your materials, what's nice is that you could deliver those materials, of course, even before the session. You don't have to take the session to go over it. If you want, of course, to go over it in the session, you can as well, and you can print this out easily. What I always say is, if you want to print it out, or you can have somebody read on their tablet or even on their phone. But I always like to have a few different handouts or prints for my clients so that we could work on things while we're together. And of course, it stops me from having to reiterate everything that, of course, I would typically repeat in emails. So now we're getting into like cleaning out that body, kicking bad habits, really setting the stage for this healthy relationship with life. Because when our habits are right, our mindset's right, we really can achieve anything that we so desire, fear or no fear. And trust me, speaking from experience with, growing up with a lot of anxiety as even a child, I can tell you that writing this program, I really poured my heart into what would somebody like myself, or so many of our ideal clients, where we get stuck in our own fears, and our own fears lead to stress and leads to unknown food intolerances. Then we don't have energy. Then we feel cranky. Then we're hungry. Then we're constipated. All these things, all these elements of the symptom. So I always, in our programs, bring it back to the gut. Of course, maybe solidifying the gut here, but you can, talk about the gut in any different part of your program. We get into adrenal fatigue so that that client knows, hey, if you're not getting to this next place, it may be important to consider additional testing. Then you, of course, have your omnivore and your vegetarian recipes, suggested meals. You will see there's so much variety. Look at those salads, entrees, dips, protein balls, desserts, and all these recipes are copyright free. Yes, we literally have our team write these recipes from scratch. You'll have a suggested meals, which you'll see always have them planned out, at a glance. This makes it easy for your client to see what they're going to be eating so they can go shopping. Of course, I always had clients who would just say, I'm just going to look at the recipe and shop every 2 or 3 days. And then, of course, if you're working with your client, I had a lot of clients that traveled, I had a lot of clients that had kids. And so I would, of course, help them map the week. I knew that my client's life would change if I could help them master their 24 hours. So that brings us into the business folder. A lot of people come and they'll look at this program and say, oh, well, that's a lot of great content, but they won't look at how amazing this business folder is. You have 15 newsletters completely done for you. I'm drinking my cranberry and water, just making sure I'm flushing my lymph. I hope you are too. But you'll see right here, this, I'm about copy and paste, but I'm definitely about personalizing. I think anyone can copy and paste, but when you personalize it, you make it your own. And so you have the 15 newsletters right there. You then, of course, have 2 PowerPoints, toxic beliefs that can lead to weight gain, easy for you to use, easy to add your own information, to change it up, to personalize it. The content is there for you. And then look at these. We have 40 blogs. So when you look at these blogs, this took so much time to write. And I think that's a big, component of why so many coaches buy from us is no one has the time. This can also be alive. So I want you to start thinking about how this can be a live from this blog. If you wanted to talk about daily affirmations, this could be you reading. I want to talk about the purpose of life, going off these headlines. So when I look at content, if something's a newsletter, that can also be a blog. If something's a blog, that can also be a newsletter. I look at opt-in freebies in the same way. How can this be a video series? Or how can this allow me to save time when I'm creating content? Because that can feel exhausting. And the last thing we want you to do is feel exhausted trying to show up for your business. So I could create an entire video series. This is 20 pages. Letting go of what's not right for you, step up and fight the battle, getting down to business to shed the pounds. This could be even stories. The less you eat, the more you lose. That's one story headline. That could even be a headline. You could turn this into social posts. Emotions wreak havoc. Exhausted motivation, medication and side effects, lack of nutrients, trauma and the weight, the connection. There's so much that is there. Change your mindset in 5 days. Ten easy steps. That's a lot. That's 10 lives. You can go step by step. 1 minute of meditation in the morning. Listen to inspirational video. Do a digital detox. Letting go. Laugh and love. Believe in yourself. Don't dwell on failures. Look at the amount of information here. So I want you to understand that when you're buying a mega program, or even any of our gateway programs, that means a gateway program is anywhere from 4 days to 30 days. You're still getting these added benefits in the business folder. Always go through and see what is included, because each sales page is different. See right here, there are pictures of the actual meals, great for social media. And especially these days, I mean, guys, people love real pictures. Real is the mantra. And I'm so excited because it's so in alignment with who I am, keeping it just simple, So I just wanted to walk you through that. I want to also talk to you now about the second way to use it. If I were to do this as a mastermind, I would still position this in the same way. Of course, I'm doing this on a group capacity. So my session 1 is going to be this for the group. The same if you're doing an intensive or you're doing a high ticket. You're going to be working, or maybe you do a container where you are working with 10 people at $1,000 a month, or 10 people at $597 a month, or $497 a month, or $397 a month. If you think about that, that's 10 people at $397, 3,970 times 3,000. So 397 times 10 people times 3, that's 11,910. Or, of course, 597 times 10 times 597 times 10, 5,970 times 3, 17,910. So I want you to look at the potential and to also think, what is going to be the best for you? Not what every guru says, but what's going to be the business that most aligns with how you like to work. I had a coach who bought a bunch of programs yesterday for her lower ticket signature program and her higher ticket signature program. She bought Reset Your Life in 21 Days and then the 3-month stress program. And she even said to me, I love interacting one-on-one. But some of you love groups, or you love doing retreats, or you love doing masterminds, or you love doing, online events. Really build that business that's going to be in alignment with you, that's going to feel right for the way that you want to connect with people, and make sure that, of course, the program solves a problem and it's specific for your ideal client, and it aligns with what you believe in your core. One of the reasons I wrote this is I believe in the core that no matter what you do, it comes down to the mindset. It comes down, doesn't mean that was my entire focus. I focused on gut, but the mindset aspect was a huge part of my business, working with people at trauma, working with people at PTSD, old narratives, gut issues, autoimmune stuff. They usually are layered that way. I wanted to just deep dive into this program. It's one of my favorites. Not that I don't love every other, because you will see right here. Let me just go into the Eat with Intention. This is an unbelievable program. I have people who have taken this program and made it an intentional living program, so that you come out of this emotional eating and come out of this crisis and this panic and this trauma style of showing up in life. I mean, trust me, guys, I've been down that road. And I think a lot of you guys have as well. A lot of you guys are heart-based entrepreneurs, heart-based coaches. You're the feeler. And a lot of you talk about, intuition. If you felt that, this was in alignment and being able to have something with these action steps and homework, and none of our programs overlap. So we have a lot of coaches who specialize in an area, and they might have a few different signature paths. Doesn't mean that they're serving everyone. They're very polarized down and very specific in their niche, but they may really focus on mindset, and they may also focus on mindset and habits, or mindset and weight loss, or mindset and self-love, and then also like intuitive eating, or just working with women to give themselves permission. So when you look at a package, look at everything that's also in the business folder, so that you see how are each of these going to save you time. And shame on you if you have bought from us and you haven't opened that folder. I want to show you just one more. We're going to go with the stress program. This is an unbelievable. I feel like they're all unbelievable. But we've had a lot of coaches. We have a lot of coaches buy Mindset Makeover. We have a lot of coaches buy this program, because this is really talking about mentally, physically, spiritually, how stress affects the body. And really being able, I mean, look at this. The information here. This program is absolutely amazing. So I wanted to just show you, one, because I think it's really special, our programs. Two, I know they change lives. And three, and that's part of why I do this, is it took a lot of time to create my first program. And a lot of stress. I was trying to build my business and list build and build visibility. And so when we started doing this, it was really because a coach asked me, can I buy the program? Can I buy your program? This program that I created for Rachel's Wellness. And I turned to her and I said, yeah, that took me so long. And she was like, I'll pay anything. And that was actually the birth of the Done For You programs. So guys, let us know how we can help. If a program is not what you need, check out our infographics, captions, blogs, newsletter, content. You know, if you can't find what you need, drop in a message on your healthcoachbiz.com and say, send this to Rach. I need some help. So with that being said, I hope you have a kick-ass weekend or weekday, night, morning, whenever you're listening to this. And with that being said, I'm going to peace out. Bye, guys. See you on the flip side.